You've been told to be vulnerable. You've been told to be endlessly supportive. You've been told that what a woman wants is a man who is an open book, a man who puts her at the very center of his world. And you have been told lies. Today, we are not going to talk about what women say they want. We are going to talk about what they instinctively and powerfully respond to. We are going to talk about the traits in a man that they secretly, and sometimes unconsciously, fear. Not because these traits are evil, but because they are a sign of true, uncontrollable power. A power that they cannot manipulate. A strength that they must either rise to meet or flee from. And for this timeless wisdom, we will turn to one of the greatest Roman emperors and Stoic philosophers who ever lived, Marcus Aurelius. He was a man who commanded the most powerful empire on earth, yet his greatest struggle was the one to command himself. His wisdom is not about tricks or tactics. It is a brutal, honest guide to forging an unbreakable soul. So, listen closely, because we are about to reveal the 10 things women secretly fear in a man, and how becoming the man who embodies them will change the way women see you forever. Number 1. A man who cannot be emotionally moved. Think about the last time a woman you were with was in a storm of emotion, anger, anxiety, sadness. What did you do? Did you become a rock that the waves crashed against? Or did you become a part of the storm yourself? How often has her bad mood instantly become your bad mood? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the core of Stoic power, the inner citadel. A man who has built his inner citadel does not allow the chaos of the outside world, including the emotional chaos of his partner, to breach his walls. When she tests him with a storm, she doesn't want him to fix her problem. She wants to see if the walls of his fortress will hold. If he remains calm, resolute, and untroubled, she feels profoundly safe. If he crumbles, if he gets angry, if he panics, she learns that his emotional state is for sale and that she has the power to destroy his peace. She doesn't fear a man without emotions. She fears a man whose emotions she cannot control. A man whose peace is his own is a man who cannot be emotionally blackmailed. This is the first and most fundamental form of power. But having an inner citadel is only the beginning. What happens when she realizes she can't have all of your attention? That leads us to the second thing women secretly fear. Number 2, a man who does not need her approval. Be honest with yourself. How much of what you do is secretly a performance for her? That new shirt you bought, the story you told your friends, the career path you're on. Are you doing it for your own reasons? Or for the quiet hope that she will look at you and say, "I'm proud of you"? The Stoics teach that to seek praise is to make your happiness a hostage to the opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius asked, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." A man who does not need her approval is a mystery. His center of gravity is internal. He does things because they are virtuous and aligned with his purpose, not because they will win him applause. When she gives him a compliment, he is not overly moved. When she criticizes him, he is not wounded. His sense of self-worth is not on the market. She fears a man she cannot validate, because it means she cannot control him with her approval or punish him with her disappointment. He is a free agent, and his actions are his own. This kind of internal validation creates a powerful presence. But what happens when that presence is faced with a direct challenge? What happens when she expects you to bend to her will? That leads us to number 3. Number 3, a man who is willing to walk away. Have you ever stayed in a situation, a conversation, an argument, a relationship, long after you knew you should have left? Did you stay because you were afraid of the conflict, or because you were afraid of the silence that would follow? The Stoics believe the greatest power a man has is the power to choose what he assents to. A Stoic only gives his assent to that which is true and virtuous. This isn't a dating tactic. It's a reflection of a soul that refuses to be compromised. When a man is willing to walk away from a relationship that violates his principles, he is demonstrating that his own character is more important than her company. He is not afraid of being alone, because his own mind is a place worth living in. She fears a man who is willing to walk away because it proves his freedom is real. It shows her that his presence is a choice he makes every day, not a cage he is trapped in. And that makes his choice to stay infinitely more valuable. This willingness to walk away is only possible if you are walking towards something more important. And that brings us to the fourth and perhaps most crucial point. Number 4. A man whose purpose is more important than she is. What is your mission? Not your job, not your hobbies. What is the great work of your life that you would do even if no one was watching? If you can't answer that question, then you have already made her your purpose, and you have already lost. Marcus Aurelius lived every day according to his duty, to Rome, to his people, to philosophy. A man's purpose is his sacred duty. A woman cannot be his purpose. She can be a companion on the path of his purpose. When a man has a mission that consumes him, a fire that drives him, he has a direction and a destiny that is not dependent on her. He is a force of nature, and she is either swept up in his powerful current or she gets out of the way. She fears a man whose purpose she cannot compete with. She cannot use her attention as a bargaining chip because his attention is already fixed on something greater. She must either support his mission or become irrelevant to it. This is her kryptonite. But a man on a mission isn't a heartless machine. He has struggles, but how he deals with those struggles is what separates him from the boys. And that is the subject of number 5. Number 5. A man who is honest about his flaws without seeking pity. When you talk about your struggles, what are you hoping to get? Are you stating a fact so you can find a solution, or are you hoping she will comfort you, coddle you, and tell you it's not your fault? The modern world tells men to be vulnerable, but it often means being weak. The Stoic is different. He is ruthlessly honest about his flaws, not as a cry for help, but as a general inspecting his own army. He says, "Here is where I am weak, and I am at war with this weakness." He doesn't want her pity. He wants her respect for the battle he is fighting. This controlled vulnerability is a profound display of strength, not a plea for comfort. She fears a man who owns his own weaknesses, because it means he cannot be manipulated by them. You cannot use a man's flaws against him if he has already declared war on them himself. This internal strength will inevitably be tested. The world and the women in it will push against you to see if you will break. How a man responds to these tests is the focus of number 6. Number 6. A man who views her tests as training. When she creates drama, when she questions your decisions, when she challenges your authority, how do you react? Do you get angry, defensive, and frustrated? Do you see it as a personal attack? A woman will subconsciously test a man's resolve to gauge the strength of his frame. The average man fails this test instantly. The Stoic man, however, welcomes it. He doesn't see her tests as feminine games or personal insults. He sees them as opportunities sent by the cosmos to practice his philosophy. Her anger is a chance to practice his calmness. Her irrationality is a chance to practice his reason. Her challenges are the very resistance he needs to strengthen his character. The obstacle is the way, as the Stoics say. She fears a man who not only passes her tests, but gets stronger because of them. She realizes that her attempts to find his weakness only serve to build his strength. But what happens when you fail a test? What about the ultimate test of rejection? A man's reaction to rejection reveals everything about him, which brings us to number 7. Number 7. A man who is unmoved by rejection. Think about the last time you were rejected by a woman. How did it make you feel? Did your sense of self-worth plummet? Did you spend days or weeks replaying it in your mind? This is where the Stoic's greatest weapon comes into play: the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Her decision to reject you is not up to you. It is an external event, and to a Stoic, it is as meaningless to his inner state as the weather. You may not like the rain, but you do not take it as a personal insult against your character. A man who can face rejection with calm indifference, with a simple, "Okay, that is your choice," has a self-worth that she cannot touch. She fears a man whose happiness she cannot destroy. If her rejection doesn't hurt him, it means her acceptance doesn't define him. He is psychologically free. This level of freedom is rare. Most men play games to avoid rejection. But as we'll see in number 8, the most powerful man plays no games at all. Number 8, a man who is simple and direct. How often do you hide what you truly think or want? Do you play games, act mysterious, or use subtle hints, hoping she will figure it out? The world is full of men who are hard to read. They think being mysterious makes them interesting. A Stoic finds this to be a foolish waste of energy. The Stoic man is the opposite, and it is far more powerful. He is simple. His words and actions are one. He says what he means, and he means what he says. There is no hidden agenda, no manipulative subtext. This radical sincerity is a form of power most have never encountered. It is unnerving because it is so honest. She fears a man she cannot second-guess. She can't search for hidden meanings or manipulate his words because his words are true. His directness forces her to be direct in return, a position in which many are uncomfortable. This directness comes from a mind that is not clouded by need. And that brings us to the mastery of the one thing that controls most men. Number 9. Number 9. A man who has mastered his desires. What rules you? Is it your desire for pleasure, your craving for delicious food, your need for validation, your urge for a beautiful woman? Be honest. What is your master? A man ruled by his appetites is a man who can be easily baited, trapped, and controlled. If a woman knows what you crave, she knows how to lead you by a leash. The Stoic practices the virtue of temperance. He is not a man who has no desires. He is a man who is not a slave to them. He can enjoy pleasure without needing it. He can appreciate beauty without craving it. He has dominion over the impulses that rule other men. She fears a man whose desires she cannot satisfy, because it means she has no ultimate power over him. A man who controls himself cannot be controlled by anyone else. This self-control leads to the final and most profound state of being, the one thing that makes a man truly unbreakable, the subject of our final point. Number 10. Number 10. A man who loves his fate. When things go wrong in your life, what is your first reaction? Do you complain? Do you blame others? Do you wish things were different? This is the final and most terrifying trait, the capstone of all Stoic practice, amor fati, the love of one's fate. The Stoic man accepts everything that has happened and will happen to him, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, as a necessary part of his destiny. He does not complain. He does not wish things were different. He uses everything as fuel for his fire. She fears a man who loves his fate, because a man who cannot be broken by life itself certainly cannot be broken by her. He is aligned with the cosmos, and she can either align with him or be left behind. So there you have it, 10 things that a woman secretly, and often unconsciously, fears in a man. But you must understand this final, crucial truth. She does not fear these things because she wants you to be weak. She fears them because they are the ultimate test. She is instinctively searching for a man whose fortress is strong enough for her to feel safe within it. Do not learn these as a set of tricks to perform. That is the path of the manipulator, and it will lead to ruin. Instead, a true Stoic seeks to embody them, to make them a part of his very soul through daily practice and relentless self-examination. The goal is not to make women fear you. The goal is to become the kind of man whose character, whose discipline, and whose freedom are so absolute that they inspire a sense of awe. That is the kind of man Marcus Aurelius sought to be. That is the kind of man you can become.